Ow. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my god. I'm an idiot, sorry. Hi, good to see you guys. Thank you guys for showing up. Appreciate you always. We're just honestly, I just want to hop right in, so we're just gonna do that. And we're going to the depths of this place. Oh my god. Great, cool, sick, can't see shit. Hey, bud. Why can't I see anything? Hey, bud. Help. It's a place that should be full of light because it's full of lava. Why the fuck can't I see anything? Holy shit. I can't get to there. But I can get to here, I guess. I thought this is where I was supposed to go. Oh, fuck me. I thought this was where I was supposed to go. It doesn't seem like it. What do I do? Oh no, I'm gonna die. Like immediately. Well, there I go. I can't get anywhere. I fucked up. I can't get anywhere. I fucked up getting here. I fucked up. I can't go anywhere. I thought this is where he wanted to go. Oh, you guys can't even hear the game. What? Well, I was right. I need to go this way, but I fucked up, so hold on. Oh my god. Oh my god! I need to go here. I cannot believe I fucked up that bad. I cannot believe I fucked up that bad. Weird. Yeah, I don't even think, because I jumped again, I don't even think I'm able to. I don't like being patient, especially when I fuck up trying to get where I need to get to. Oof. Jesus. So I should go here. And this music's fucking sick. Like, actually. That music's actually sick as fuck. Looks like a dog's face. Hold up. Huh. Look at that. Look at like this is the nose, this is the snout, this is the ear, so the eye would be like over here. And this is the mouth open, like he's barking, and this is like his tongue, like a cartoonish little tongue. Looks like a dog. Where the fuck is he? See? It's not here. Hello? He dove into the crater, so where the fuck? He's not up there, is he? How the fuck would he get up there? Where the fuck is Yonobu? Oh my god. Yikes. I'm a fucking idiot. Who knew it would look like this inside Death Mountain? How do I look closer? See a whole lot of those red rocks. Huh? Why would Princess Zelda be down here with all this marbled rock roast? Huh?
Come to me.
I do want to know who all these voices are. I'm hearing things again. But, I mean, you heard that too, right, Link? Because I definitely heard someone speaking just now. Let's see. I think if I was coming from... I think it was coming from that away. Maybe this has to do with Zelda.
Yep.
Got a heaping pile of questions for her, so let's hurry to where Zelda is. Ow.
Goro! Charge!
Well, that was pretty neat. Ooh. Okay. Going over there, so... Can I touch this? I can. looks like I'm safe touching it. Actually scared the fuck out of me. Okay. Do big wheels go up like that? Hold up. Hold up. What are you? You're a headlight, right? You're a light. Attached to the literal corners. Okay, so attach it like that. How about that? I mean, what else can I do? You know?
I can do it!
I got stuck and I'm an idiot. Hold up. Might want to move, you know, boo. It literally has to be this way. Oh my god, really?
Goro! I can do it! Here I go!
Fire like stone. So like stone. Fire like stone. Fuck it. gonna burn. I don't care too much. Okay. I'm going to go up there. Hey buddy, hey pal, come on.
I can do it!
Oh shit. Hang on. Oh man, do you not have a battery over here? I thought you did. Okay, well. It's fine then, I guess. No, having batteries like that is fine. As long as they're connected, it doesn't matter, right? Like that would look cool. Fuck, where are all my bright balloons? Oh, there. Is this where I need to... Oh, fuck me. That's where I need to go, right? Huh. I need to go up that way. I guess I just kind of assumed I'd be able to just kind of go.
I can do it!
See what the big wheels can do. Oh, no, nothing much. Apparently. Okay, well. Unfortunately, I guess that's fine. Oh, what do I do? Fuck me. Fuck me. Alright, listen, Link, you're a fucking piece of shit. I don't know what crafting is. What is crafting? It's like these zonite things are made from crafting, is what it says when you look over them, right? Don't tell me this is all like zonite stuff and I just kind of wasted my life. I think it is. Look, especially high purity, the amount of energy concentrated in allows for a much higher power output than regular zonite. Zonate? Have I been saying it wrong this whole time? I think so. I think I've been saying it wrong. God damn it. Go fuck yourself. Anyways, we gotta go up. So let's go up. One of the dragons is here. That's good to know. I do like those dragons. Those dragons are cool. But what? I thought there was like a checkpoint thing like right up here. Or is it? Oh, there it is. It's over this way. Miss Cece? Cool, thanks. Why do you keep showing me my hearts like that? Like, at this point, I know. You know? Sorry, I want to get this one, too. I know that that's where I need to go. Like, I get that. But also, depending, actually, on how far it actually looks. Okay, yeah, it's not that far. So, and I can always... Oh, yeah, that's right. I can always teleport back. Never mind, no I can't. Those both went... terribly. Yeah, I don't care about you. Oof. I do not care at all about any of you. Not at all, not even close. I do, however, care about getting over. So, how do I do that? Should have brought my car up with me. Oh, wait. Or I can just go up that way, right? If it'll let me. There's charge, boy.
I can do it.
Charge. God damn you. Come on, charge, boy.
Here I go. Charge.
There we go. That's what I wanted. Fire temple. Is the next one gonna be water temple? How creative. I mean, to be fair, so far it's been wind and sand, so. This is where I heard the voice coming from? Yeah, probably. Oh, where you going, bro? I know. First floor. What is this place? And why is something like this inside Death Mountain? Huh? Hi, Zelda. Ah, it's Princess Zelda. Please wait, Goro. I gotta talk to you. When are y'all gonna figure out it's not actually her?
I can do it.
When is that gonna be obvious that it's not actually her? There's something up ahead, Goro. Oh. Okay. There's also stuff right there that I don't need, but you know, whatever. And a chest! Yay! 10 arrows! Let's fucking go! Let's fucking do this shit. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, fuck. How many arrows do I have? 66. Oh. Link over there. Jesus fucking Christ, every 2 seconds he stops me. Why does she look like she has glasses on all of a sudden? Okay, then. Not good, not good. It's kind of obvious how we get in there, bro. Kind of obvious. Don't worry, that just means I can use my magical hand to teleport. Oh, you fuck. The gate, it moved a little. It moved a little just now, Goro. Hear that? There it is again.
Young little rock. The gate you must pass through is firmly locked with 5 padlocks. You have the power to unlock them all. Do so, then the gate should open. Heed my words.
Hit your little rock, bro. Obviously. There we go. Okay, so I go this way. To whatever this one is. Figure out how to get it open. Oh my god. Looks like a gong. Yeah, you're gonna gong it. Once I figure out how to get to it. Which evidently I can't. Yeah, I know I just lost an arrow. Arrows here are crucial not to lose. Hey, look, it's these fuckers. Hey, fucker. Oh. Oh, see? That's what happens. Ow.
Here I go!
Don't really need you to. Oh, fuck me. Don't really need you to charge anywhere, buddy. Well, actually, maybe I do. Hold on. So let's charge that thing. There we go. I'll come back. Okay. Decent enough.
Here I go!
I honestly can't figure out how to get to that first one, so getting to this one is fine. Oh well, that was a chest that I kind of wanted.
I can do it! Charge! Goro!
Oh yeah, wait, hold on, obviously. I was about to say chill. Because they aren't fucking here. No! Fuck. Itchy.
I can do it!
Don't like that I have to move around by rail. It's not fun to do. literally... Whatever, I guess it doesn't fucking matter now. Jesus Christ, dude, that's so fucking annoying. I literally hit it. I swear to God I fucking hit it.
Here I go!
Don't need it.
I can do it! Charge!
Oh, well, you fucking suck. The hell was that?
Goro!
Never mind, hold up.
Here I go! I can do it! Goro!
There it is.
Here I go! Charge! That must be the first padlock, Link.
Uh-huh. No shit, Sherlock. Did not notice that my health was down so bad. Oh, well, look at that. It's bad, but I really do want to just fucking look up how to do this properly.
I can do it! Goro!
Oh well, oh well. It's fine.
Here I go!
Yeah, I don't think I should have gone here. Okay. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. Oh, that's right. This is why it gave me hydrants. Where are the hydrants? Damn it. Sorry. I really want to know how to do this gate here. But I don't. I have no idea. Oh, wait. Unless... Can I use this end over here? No, not yet. Hold on. Maybe I can. If I can climb this, there we go. Maybe I can if I can get up to here. Don't know where I'd be ascending to. But if I can use ascend and get to it. God fucking damn it. Interesting. So, what I might be able to do get up here. Yeah, Nobu can't show up here, can he? Oh, no, there is. Hey, wow, look at that. Hey, buddy.
I can do it! Charge!
Oh, okay. Alright. Nice. I don't understand what that is, but okay. Flip the minecart around onto the next track and hit the track stretch to lower the rails. Slide across the pool to the north side of 2F. Hold on. 2F, I need to get over here. But I need to get to this one. So that's okay. That's good to know. Either way, I have to go that way. So just have to go down one level and do that. Right? Unless I have to go right there. Hold. Oh no. See? Now I'm on the right level. I just need to get across to that area? Nope, not that area. That area. Fuck. Okay, well, I was just at 3F and now I'm kind of fucked. Shit. Shit. Hold on. I can definitely climb and glide. I can 100% climb and glide. I'm just trying to figure out where to climb here. Boom.
Goro! Let's...
I just fucked up a little bit. Hold on. Yeah, I'm fucking up just slightly. Hold. That's it. Nice, sick. Hello. Grab whatever I fucking can. Okay. Now.
3 to go! Let's hurry!
I think that's 4F, right? Don't know why I'm dragging like that. Fuck. Didn't want to do that. I need something for health. Oh, wait. I need something for health. I never fucking... Damn it. I never used my daily bonus from yesterday. It would have given me fucking 3 hearts. I didn't even think about it. Hold up. See if I can borrow one, do it again. I don't think I can, but, you know. Health recovery! 5 additional hearts! Let's fucking go. Boom, bitch! Alright, anyways, sorry. Nope. Oh. I can't ascend at all. You fucker. Is there a broken bit of this room? Nope. No, of course there's not. Okay. How do I get to it then? Up this way is how I get to it. I don't like the minecart, like, thing. I don't like using the minecarts. I'm sorry, this is backwards and stupid. I don't like doing the minecarts. That was genuinely too confusing for me. And I'm sorry. God, I wish he climbed just a little bit faster. Wait a minute. You can climb a little bit faster. Never mind, no I can't. I forgot I bought the shirt, not the pants. Oh, wait. But he can. Buddy. Oh, buddy. Oof, buddy boy. Boom. Am I here? Yes, I am.
Here I go.
I don't know what that's giving me. It's giving me... Oops. More things to attach to this. So that I can get you up there. Oops. Sorry, something feels fucking weird. Maybe it's just that I'm sweaty, but like, something feels fucking weird. Okay. Anyways. That was a weird fucking feeling, I apologize. Oh wait, I can fucking... Doesn't matter too much.
I can do it.
But what happened? I don't get it. Okay, well, yeah, obviously that's not perfect. That is so plainly obvious that that's not perfect. Oh, wait, so is this one. This one's not perfect. Weird. Okay, but I shouldn't... Oops. I shouldn't need the other one. That was a lot. Nope, it wasn't a lot. It was definitely needed. Good to know. Excuse me, Goro. The Gorons is what they're called, though.
Here I go! Charge!
There it is. Oh, there it is. Two more.
Just 2 left, Link.
Where are those two? Oh, one's right there. Wait a minute. On what? On this. It's... But, like, what? Yeah. So, obviously not. Hold. Fucker. Hey.
I can do it!
Oh, well, shit. No, you can't. At least not without this thing. Come on. Bye-bye. Whoops. Not where I'm meant to be, but it's okay. I might... You're on 1F. Oh, but I need 5. I do need 5F though. Where the fuck is 5F? There it is. Shit, I need to go all the way over. Where am I in relation to everything else? Over here. I need to somehow make it over to that. Somehow over to there. Nope. First of all, nope. So just missed that. Somehow don't just miss this, but there's no fucking way in hell. Yeah, I have nothing for stamina, there's no way. Link's gonna die. No fucking way. I can't, like... Yeah. I can't reach up there. Air itself burns. Your current clothes and food won't protect you. You're taking damage. Okay. Interesting. Ah! Whoops. Sorry. Fucked up a little bit. I need to get over to that thing. This is not me abandoning the mission, I swear. I just need to get over there. Okay, yeah, whatever. You head back. Abandon me. You just said you were about to turn back. I don't get that. Okay. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if this will work. Maybe. Okay. You've been waiting 2 seconds. By the way. Oh, wait. But that's good. But that's good. That's fucking great. Oh, no, that's not. Hold up. What do you mean? Okay. Really? There's the same thing on the other side. I don't know if that's gonna fuck me or not. Oh, well, of course I can't do it over here. The fucking thing is over here. I don't think I can stand on this ledge either. This specific ledge. Or I can. I literally can't do it. I can't do what I wanted to do. I think I know why I can't do what I wanted to do, though, because of that thing. Hold on. Ow. Buddy, can you not? Buddy, can you not? Get over to this ledge, please. It's done now. I like the music. The rails are just super annoying. I'm sorry. Fuck. Fuck. Fuck you. shouldn't have gotten on that ledge because apparently that wasn't right. Jesus Christ. Everything here is so much bigger than Link. Link is so little. Alright, Goron.
Here I go! Let's go!
Goron. He is in fact a Goron.
Only one left! Almost done, Goro!
Mm-hmm. Hole in the floor. Oh, maybe this. Maybe this.
I can do it!
Yeah, maybe this. Huh? Not this, and I just fucked it, apparently. Huh? Jump into the massive hole in the floor and glide all the way down to the restricted ground level room. Huh? It says it's like that way. No, Link. Oh, you fuck. I'm so sorry. I'm not talking. Heart's racing. Need to get here. Heart was racing. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. First of all, I'm gonna get whatever this is. Oh, great. Not what I really wanted. Oh, excuse me, but it's okay. Thing fucking sucks. Okay. Look back outside from the 4F room to spot a high, isolated tower platform with a massive vertical shaft running through it. Uh-huh. Like, that's the 4F room, that's the 5F room. Arrow time! Arrow time's time. Sorry.
Here I go!
Okay. So... Huh? So it should be here. Where am I right now? I'm on 5F. Never mind. Should be here. Ow. But, how do I get into this room? Oh, that's how. Hold. Hold. I see. God damn you, Link.
Goro! I can do it! Goro!
Oh, that one was close.
I can do it! Goro!
I feel like that one should have been it.
I can do it! Let's
There it is.
Here I go!
Okay. We're done with this. Done with that. Don't exactly know why I said we're done with that. Obviously, I have to get up there somehow. But I guess I will just climb again. How? I don't know. I don't have any more flame guard, right? Yeah, no. Okay, so I'll put back on this armor because it's okay. That's kind of what I was afraid of. There. Fuck. Fuckity fuck, fuck, fuck. Goro, no. Goro, no. Okay. But now that I know what I'm doing, oops, exactly. God damn it.
I can do it!
Okay. Sure you can't, bud. This one I actually can do properly. Fuck! If I don't do that. Sorry. Fucked it up a little bit. Okay. So now, yeah, we can go like this. We can go all the way down here. Come on, Goro.
Here I go! Charge!
Did it. Okay.
That's
I did
all
this
the
one.
blocks, Link. The door should open now. Let's go see, Goro.
Okay. Did this door open? No. Okay. But it's fine. Because I am not dealing with it yet. Because I am gonna go, oops, over here. And up here, obviously. Holy fuck. Wait a fucking minute. Where am I exactly? What the shit? God damn, we traveled a while. Is this the... Oh no, it's not. What the fuck is that? I don't know what the shrine is. I don't remember going to it. Huh? Whatever. Yep. You're good. I'm gonna be so for real with you. I don't know if I'm gonna sleep. I'd be impressed if I do, honestly. But, you know. What are you doing exactly?
Hey.
So wait. Speaking with Giotto, May yield. Okay.
Oh.
Garrison. Dunma. The fuck is Toto Lake? Lulu Lake. East Reservoir Lake that is apparently all green and sludgy. That's what it looks like. Hey, hold on. Where am I going, buddy? Northwest of here. Ah. That's fine. No, it's not. Edit stamp. Here. Okay. Fuck. This way. Turtle Lake seems quite a ways from here. Don't know why I have to go away from Sidon to have a mission with Sidon, but I guess it's fine. Doesn't make any sense to me, but I guess it's fine. Okay, yeah, this lake. This is where I'm going. Ah, where is... there is... Diato. Nope, Dunma. I was actually, no joke, gonna go over there, but I saw her. Go fuck yourself. Failed sadly. Alex PR. Guess what, my guy? You're fucking banned forever. Fuck you. Okay. Oh, fuck me. Okay. Great. Okay. Yeah, great. Great. Cool. We're gonna be around here, right? Don't know where exactly, but they've gotta be around here somewhere. Oh. It's right there. Don't know how you're gonna read it. It's correct to fuck, but What? Sorry. The land of the skyfish, and behold its lofty view. Among the floating rocks you see a droplet waits for you. Through this droplet shoot an arrow with the mark of the king. Do this task and you shall reveal a most wondrous thing. See the watery bridge's resting spot with your own two eyes. That which connects the Zora to the people of the skies. As it mentions the mark of the king, perhaps you should start your quest for knowledge with King Dorothin. Excuse me, I assume he will be returning from his investigation from the sludge shortly. Meaning I need to go back. To Zora? Zora's Domain, Rito Village, Gerudo Town. Goron, I can't remember. Goron's descriptor. Oh, shit. Trying to turn is apparently hard. Oh, for fuck's sake. King Dorothin Super Punch and Super Cake and oh no, I got beat. What? Speaking with King Dorothin about the mark. Where the fuck is King Dorothin? Oh, fuck. What did they say? The secret, King Dorothin's secret hideout is... no. It's nothing like we're gonna reveal the secret or anything. Don't worry about us, pal. Okay, so Dorothin is... Look at the hidden pristine Sanctum Cave. Okay. And east toward Lulu Lake and Polymus Mountain. Lulu Lake and Polymus Mountain. So, like, go here-ish. Hold up. Go, like, maybe around here. It's possible. Is that the waterfall I'm looking for? I don't actually know. Hold up. Oh, because I'm looking at the wrong fucking place. Hold up. Delete that pin. I was looking at the wrong pin. You need to look at the blue one, and I did not. Look at the blue one. It's behind the waterfall. But doesn't look like it's behind this one. So, fuck me. Oh boy. Okay. I don't know if I'll be able to make this properly. I am able to get up here. At least get up to where I just was. I think I'm able to do the whole thing. Okay, great. Now is it behind this waterfall? Please. Wait, coordinates 3664 0598 0204 0598 is over. Hold up. Over this way. So up from here. Three, 664. Yeah. It's gotta be. What the fuck? Can't be in here, can it? Yeah. I think there's literally no way it's in here. Shit. I don't know what to do though. Okay. Bro, I genuinely just thought I was a goner. But I don't think it's behind here. I think it's too small. So I'm gonna go up to over here and just keep going up. Well, going up was a bad idea. Apparently. So was jumping. What the fuck? Oh, because... Oh. Wait, hold on. Because actually, maybe it is that. But I think I need to glide into it. So I do still need to go up. But I think I need to glide. But I think it actually is that. Stay down, please. Stay down there, please. You're gonna hurt me if you don't. God damn it. Hey, you're on my back. Your claws are crazy, bro. Can you... His foot's right here. Fine. Deep tissue massage, not what I asked for. Oh fuck, it might not be this. Hold up. Might not be this. 664 598 204. Fucking Christ, I was right. In a way. There's money here. Pristine. Okay. But where do I go from here? Hi, shoulder cat. You're not as easy as your sister. What the actual fuck? Hold up. That's supposed to be sticky. Supposed to be sticky. So just... I'm supposed to be sticky! You fucking piece of shit. I'm literally slip resistant right now. I am literally slip resistant. Brother, what? God fucking damn it, dude. The hell? How am I slipping? Literally doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense! How am I slipping? That doesn't make sense, dude. How? How am I slipping? Holy shit. That is so shit. Is that you? So it is, Link. How'd you find this place? What cruel ploy are you plotting? You've never liked me, bro. You speak in such a way without explanation, Link here will only be confused as to what is going on. That is my necklace. You guys see this fucking thief? He stole my necklace. Hold up. Oh, no. Okay, he got caught, so now he's fucking leaving. He just went... Meow. Stole my fucking necklace. What a bitch. What a dickhead. Okay. Hi, Dorfin. Okay. Okay. Kuzu and I had left the domain to investigate these strange occurrences. That's when it happened. Zelda descended from the sky, accompanied by a sludge monster. What happened next took us by surprise. She then unleashed the beast upon us. Dorfin valiantly vanquished the threat. However, he was gravely injured by the sludge during the battle. I see. As for Princess Zelda, she vanished without a trace. If word got out that Princess Zelda, blah 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 blah. Okay, this is why we're temporarily remaining hidden within the pristine sanctum. According to your story, Princess Zelda disappeared suddenly in the depths beneath Hyrule Castle. Yes. On the other hand, she suddenly appeared near Zora's domain and unleashed a monster boss. Well, apparently she appeared everywhere all at once. Ganon. Ganondorf is behind this. This disaster, the sludge monster, and even Princess Zelda. It may well be that the answer to these riddles can only be found skyward. Sidon ordered Giotto, a historian well acquainted with ruins, to investigate. Wonder if any progress has been made. I was just there. Let's see, I've already spoken with Giotto. Say that the Mark of the King was mentioned on the stone slate that was restored? I indeed do know of it. Mark of the King refers to a Zora King's scale. One of my scales, in other words. I've heard it called by the name you mentioned in an ancient ritual. However, none remain who know how it was used. This particular scale of mine may prove useful to you. By all means, take a few. There's no need for restraint. This is as nothing to me. Okay. If you run out, simply return and acquire more. Perhaps the time is nearing for me to pass the title of king on to Sidon. In any case, that's a matter for another day. Please inform Sidon about my situation and about the king's scale. Tell him there's no need to worry about me. Tell him that he must go forth and do what needs to be done. Sure thing. Hey, buddy. You know how you lost your sister Mifa? You're gonna lose your father Dorfin as well. Sorry. I had a shrine. Look at him dance on one foot. He's hopscotching. Okay. Anyways, hi Sidon. I think I'm just stuck slippery. What do you mean if I find any leads, let you know at once? You need to fucking... Okay. The mark of the king is the Zora King's scale, but what of the land of the skyfish and droplet? Good question. Stand upon the land of the skyfish and behold its lofty view. Where is the land of the skyfish? I assume pretty, like, close to here. I mean, I feel like that would be pretty obvious. Might be that. Hold on. Where is this? It's not Great Sky Island. I assumed it was, but this is Great Sky Island, is it not? Yeah. Hold up. Hold up. I think I know where this straight hole is. Yeah, I do. No. Where are you going? I think this is the way I need to go, right? So if I do this, try to fly as high as possible up there. little bit better. Actually, hold on, because I need this thing attached to it. Oops. Yeah. Oops. This. Plus one more fan. This. And two of those. Goes there. Oops. Fan. Here. Batteries. Well, sure. Connect, please. I want it to look, you know, pretty good, right? Wow, dude, already drained the shit out of the first battery. It's fucking insane. Actually, should have used the thingy first. My materials. How are you not going higher? Like, what the fuck? Shit, dude. Where? So that other island thing, I mean, I wanted to be all the way up there. I just did. But I guess it's okay. But I really... Fuck. I wanted to be on that other sky island and I don't see it. The one that's pouring like... Oh, okay. Regular water onto everything. This one is the one I'm talking about, I believe. Wow, look over it, so nice. Jesus fucking Christ. Floating Scales Island. Wait, maybe this is actually it. Maybe this is legitimately it. It's possible. Super possible. That one. But what else it's talking about? Among the floating rocks, you see a droplet. Droplet waits for you. Skyfishing behold its lofty view. Among the floating rocks, you see a droplet waits for you. Okay, so among these, a droplet waits for you. You meaning me. I get. Oh, this. Oh, wait, this. Oh, wait. Holy fuck! Sorry, that was loud. But I fucking figured it out. Oh. Wait. Ooh. Crazy. Clues to the sky complete. Hell yeah. Okay. Alright, Link. Let's go through the droplet because it's symbolic. Symbolism. Oh. Hey dude, I found it. Are you sighting?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
It's a huge development. Uh-huh. Wait. Okay. Sludge light. Dude, go. Ooh. Pretty neat.
We need to
But
get up close and personal with
also-
it. Be careful.
I don't think I have anything for electricity. I thought I did. There we go. This is something.
We have to remove the sludge somehow.
Damn it. Damn it. Hey, buddy. Help. Oh. Fuck. Oh, choo-choo jelly. I have that. Hold on. Oh! Okay, 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 okay. Well, I got it now. I got it. I understand. I figured it was water, but also I couldn't fucking do anything about it. Oh my god, really? I can't just skip this whole thing? I thought I was just gonna go right back to the combat, bro.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of cool, actually.
We need to get up close and personal. Be careful.
Ow. Ow. Dick. Oh, I have one splash screen left. I didn't even realize.
Johnny. Now's our chance.
I don't know why I did that. Fuck.
Go for it.
Fucker! Maybe electricity next time will work a little better. Just going. Bag, dude. And it's not gonna fucking... It's... Why doesn't it save the combat? Why doesn't it save me getting into the fucking combat, bro?
Yes.
That's actually annoying as shit. That it doesn't fucking save the combat part. This is so fucking annoying. It's so fucking annoying. Yeah. I already know! Fucking piece of shit, fucking bitch. Fuck you.
We need to get up close and personal.
Yeah, I know.
Be careful.
I'm aware. Oh, you fucking piece of...
Nice job, Lee. Good work.
Fucking hate that shit. Alright.
Let's go.
It's like those are barely doing anything, dude.
We can do this.
Fuck. Waste the ice thing. I guess it's okay. Been hit. Which is a very, very, very good thing. Sorry.
Let's go.
Shit. This is the problem. I'm now running out of shit.
Now, Lee.
Okay. Oh, you fucking piece of absolute trash.
Now's our chance.
Fucking bitch. Turn it up just one more. Dude, Link, take that foul beast of the sludge.
Yes. Come on. Oh. Hey now. Yes, yes.
Ah.
Hell yeah. Anyways.
What?
What's in this? A million arrows that I used on him? I can get rid of this. Okay. I want to get to the water temple because I know it's a water temple. That's exactly that's just gotta be what it is. Which I'm hoping the water temple is this thing. You know what I mean? Hoping that this thing in the water is the water temple and I can just... What is what? The thing that I'm going to? Oh, I guess I'm not going to. I guess I'm going. I might be going to like a rock. It's like right outside where that thing is. I guess that's fine. It's fair enough, I guess. Okay.
Oh.
Just now. What was that? It's fucking... something. I don't even know. I don't know what it is. I have no fucking idea.
I have an idea.
Am I gonna ride on your back again? Oh, are you gonna make a whirlpool? That's kind of cool. That's, yeah, exactly what it's doing. Man, that's pretty neat
Just
that you
as I
can do
thought.
that.
I can see an entrance at the bottom of the lake. I'll make a path for you. Dive in, Link.
Dive in, Link! Okay. Did it work? Oh! Yes. Yes, it did. Where's Sidon? I don't know where Sidon is. Give. It's finally time to get rid of this stupid fan thing that I never use anyways. So it's fine. Shit. Get more bombs. Well, not really. Not really. Okay, well, that's just rude. I could just hit it. Oh. There. Inside, and where are you? You fucking dick. Whoa. Entrance over waterworks. Pretty neat. Nope. Oh, you fucking suck. Yeah, you fucking suck, Link. Jesus fucking Christ. Ah, you fucking suck, Link. Ah, you fucking dick. You fucking dick. Oh my god. Oh my god. Fucking piece of shit. You're a fucking piece of shit. You're a fucking piece of shit. Link, I blame you for all of it. Everything that's going wrong at the moment. I fucking blame you. Yeah, okay, this is where I was. Alright. There another piece to the puzzle? Dude, get up on this thing. Fucker. This one's not actually gonna be able to. Ah, just get fucking closer already, Jesus Christ. I can't believe moving it like that didn't jack shit all to help me. Even a little bit. Why? Why are you slippery? Why are you slippery? First of all. Second of all, go absolutely fuck yourself. Fucking Christ. Link better be pushed out. Oh. Okay. I guess that worked. Alright, whatever. Jesus fucking Christ. It's just a maze that I'm just going through. Oh, oops. Guess it. Guess it is. But like, where does the maze go? Because obviously this ain't it. where the fuck am I supposed to be? Up, right? Like, that's where it is? Alright. I hate... It's like... places that are slippery, you can stick to them with the sticky elixir. That's not fucking true, is it? 'Cause I fucking tried that shit. Look, I'll try it again. Slip resistance. That's what it's fucking called. Shit, I do need to, like, go in there, apparently. So hold on. Let me go back into this thing. Oh, it's not telling me that I need to go up, though. Where the fuck is it telling me I need to go? Where is it telling me I need to go? I'm so confused. What is this fucking place called? Where am I right now? Don't even know. Where the fuck am I? I don't know what this fucking place is called. Hold on. Ancient Zora Waterworks. I didn't actually mean to unpause. Hidden sewer pipe. Look at the western wall. Again, to spot a massive pipe high up with two smaller. Yes. Keep walking until you hit a dead end where water is actively pouring down from a grate. Yes. Use ascend. That makes sense. I, again, keep forgetting that ascend is even a fucking thing, dude. Jesus Christ. Sick. Oh yeah. By the way, did not press dash a second time. It's not actually what happened. I only pressed it once. I don't know why he did it twice. Okay, sorry, Finn. I don't actually know if I need you, but I think I need you. What the fuck? I think that means I'm gonna travel up his back. On his back. Excuse me. A waterfall descended from the sky. Link, what happened? Is this your doing? I mean, kinda. Did she say deer? For the Zora armor, yeah! Yes, please. Give me the Zora armor. Fuck. Yona tasked herself with repairing. So where the fuck do I go? Is that Mifa Court, I guess? Why is it called Mifa Court? Or Mifa's Court, maybe? But still, why is it called that? What the fuck is a court? And, like, I know you're not Yona. Where the fuck is Yona? Oh, there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it fucking will. I fucking hate you. Fucking hate this thing. Jump into the water fountain pool right underneath Mifa's statue. You will always find at least one or two swimming here. Always find one or two swimming here? At the fountain? She said she hasn't seen them. And she's... a liar? I guess? can't, like, dive down. I think I see them. There we go. Nutritious meat can restore a bit of health. Okay, well. They're apparently just good at repairing armor.
Yes.
Here.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I'm happy to have it. Quite happy to have it.
Whoa.
Thanks. Okay. So now I want that. And these. And I want this back on. Not right now. It's okay. That wasn't my most recent death, was it? Must have been. Weird. There's no way this is the one I needed. Oh no, this is... okay. This is a different one. I do remember it, though. Whoops. Whoopsies. Oops. Let's go back up to the fountain. Oopsie. My bad. No, you don't. You don't need to reach nobody. You're fine. Trying to do some main missions before I do more, side missions. I like that it instantly works. Makes me happy. Wellspring Island. The fuck are those? Oh, shit. Oh, I'm in it. That's kinda neat. Hi. Where did you go? Whatever. I want you to make me into a bubble. Or, yeah, put me into a bubble. How high do you get? Not too... pretty high, actually. Pretty good. I don't know where Sidon went. Totally honest. It's fine, I'll just go here, and then I'll be fine. I was about to say as soon as that thing pops. Oh, come on. Please? Like, no way, just stop working. Hello? Please? Yay! Thank you. I wonder why I'm so, like, floaty. Ah, you fuck. I don't know if it saved me here or not. Honestly, probably not. But if it didn't, I'm just gonna end this stream. Oh, it did! Look at that. Wow, look at that. Oh, well, shit. Oh, fuck. My arrow. Oops. Hey, that was fucking rude. It says up. Up, up. That's why my arrows aren't hitting, right? Oh my god. I didn't even think about it that way. Like, they're not hitting right because of the fucking anti-grav. Thanks for the hydrant. Oh. Oh. No, I did not notice that. Until that one did it. There we go. I feel like this is a place where I can't get fall damage. Ooh, I got a hover stone. Sick! I think this is, in fact, a place I cannot take fall damage. I'm gonna get this shrine, and then I do think I'm gonna call it a night. Considering it's fucking 2:15 a.m. and no, I did not realize that until just now. But I have been live for 2 hours and 45 minutes. So, oops, to be fair. Can you pop? Oh, never mind. You don't need to pop. What? What's happening? Huh. Okay. Kind of interesting. Oof. Yikes. Okay, well. Fuck. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how this is supposed to work properly. Unless I can take these ones too? Oh wait, can I stack them just like on top of each other? How is that one? How are they already dying? Like I'm grabbing the new ones. I don't know how to do this. And it is, in fact, kind of pissing me off. Like, I can kind of tell how it works. But then I also can't. And it's pissing me off. So instead, I'm just gonna go for the night. I have this as a travel spot. It's fine. I'm not gonna try and figure it out. I don't care enough. I do not care enough. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you. And I'll see you next time. Peace out. Have a good one. Bye.